Hey guys, what's up? I am working out in the shop today and I'm getting a lot done. I'm excited. I want to give you guys some updates, but the topic of today's video is actually on Pictus Catfish. And the reason I'm doing this video is because Pictus Catfish, they're sold at PetSmart, super popular catfish to go with. I did a video a couple weeks ago on the most popular catfish sold at PetSmart, and it was one of them. So let's talk about some updates though. I've been working on this stand and I've had to take it apart a couple of times. I had more sections, and you know how it goes when you build something, things just don't always go as planned. And this is a harder stand to build than what I've ever built, because I'm used to just building stands with just 2x4s across them. You build them for just sheer strength, and you just basically put one tank on top. Anyways, this is a crazy design where there's essentially no center brace, and it gives you more room to stack 3 tanks, and you can get your hand inside of here. By the way, I stole this design from Corey at Aquarium Co-op, and don't worry, I told him I was gonna do it, and he even said, hey, I stole it from someone else. He said all good ideas come from someone else that we essentially steal. But let's flip the cam here. All right, so here's what it looks like. And like I said, I had to take it apart a couple of times because the first time I didn't measure correctly and the tanks didn't fit properly. But long story short, I have the right measurements now to where it can be 3 sets of tanks. And this top tank, I was worried about it because I'm really tall. I'm 6'3.5", and I could see into the top tank. But I started worrying that, I had that top tier too high. And anyways, this is at 5 foot, so anybody above 5 foot will be able to see into that tank. It kind of sucks because it took away from my drain, because I already had the drain set up too, to where the drain was on the wall. But because I had to lower everything, now I'm at a loss on what I'm going to do, because now this low tank is really low, and I need that pipe to go along this whole wall to be at an angle essentially, and have a tilt to it so that when it drains, the water goes all the way out and exits at a hole in the wall over there. I'm getting so worked up, guys. I've been sitting here staring at it, and then the next question is, where do I put the overflows? Because all this is going to be on an auto water change system. I was going to put them on the side here and have them sneak through there, but that seems it's going to be a bad idea. Then I thought maybe I could drill the hole in the front and have a little pipe kind of sneak down on here. I don't know. What Corey did was drilled a hole in the back and hid everything in the back. But then you have issues accessing it later if you have like leaks and issues, etc. But yeah, progress is being made. It's just really stressful because I promised myself that I wouldn't rush things. And a lot of people, more experienced fish keepers, reached out to me and told me, hey Chris, I noticed that you have a tendency to rush things, and just really take your time and make sure you have things how you want them, because if they're not right, it's going to wind up costing you tons of labor down the road. So just have them. If you guys have any ideas, I could really use your help. But like I said, this video is actually topicked the Pictus Catfish. So let's dive into the Pictus Catfish. I love these fish. I got some cool footage. All right, first I want to give a huge shout out to Alex Davis for getting me this extremely cool footage. Whenever I asked and reached out to other people that had really cool Pictus cats, they were like, hey man, I can't get a good video of these fish because they move so much, and I just can't get good video. Anyways, I think that is one of the main reasons these catfish are so popular, is because they're always constantly moving and they're just so fun to watch. For the most part, the Pictus Catfish is known for a fish to be kept in just a general community-style tank. And I did some research in a lot of the large forums just to see what people were asking and commenting on these fish about. and it's a series of things. Number one, these fish are known to be pretty fragile when bringing them home to your tank, and if the water parameters just aren't there, it's very common for them to just die off. Secondly, it is said that they do a lot better in groups because they grow more of a security when being kept with like 4 or 5 and up. So, and thirdly, keeping these fish with cichlids may not be a good idea. Because as you can see, these fish do not stop moving. And yes, it looks awesome to have them in your tank, and it's almost like they are the spotlight of the tank, and that's what a lot of people do. They maybe keep 10 of them in a larger tank, and they grow anywhere from 3 to 5 inches, and when you have that little school of them, they are just almost like the showcase fish of the tank, essentially. And people have issues with them bugging other fish, and that's where they may fight with even some nicer cichlids. I did also notice that there was a range of websites that had different answers on how big these fish actually get. There was 1 or 2 sites that said these fish can grow up to 10 inches, but as a majority, I reached out to some of my friends, and these fish grow 3 to 5 inches, and it's pretty uncommon to actually even see them get past 4 inches in size. One of my friends did say, though, that he had one that was right around that 4.5 inch mark, and it was eating guppies every other day. So beware, if you're keeping these fish with guppies, that could happen. These fish, for some reason, I don't see these as being I mean, they're obviously a catfish, but it's like they are a showcase fish that you would probably plan a tank around, and they move so much that I don't see them as a catfish. Like, all the catfish I have kept usually kind of keep to themselves. They want to hide in a cave, and just they want a dark spot to hide out, and these fish are absolutely not that. They almost remind me of having like the same mentality as some barbs. Like, a lot of tiger barbs just got kind of crazy like this. And as far as feeding the Pictus catfish, they pretty much eat almost anything. And a lot of people will commonly feed them the omega-1 shrimp pellets because they sink. And you may want to try to find a food that sinks because they are a bottom-dwelling fish, and sometimes they may have problems finding food that isn't on the bottom. I don't foresee them having any issues. But yeah, this is an awesome fish, guys. Let me know if you have ever kept these fish. Maybe they have died on you. I've heard that from other people. I don't know. These are an all-around awesome fish. The Pictus catfish. Whoop, whoop.